Hello, fabulous Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2015. General focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a big month for you. It's an important month for you, as I mentioned last month as well. This month we have two very important celestial phenomenons taking place. Actually, more than just two, but we do have two specifically geared towards you, and that is the full moon early in the month in your opposite sign, and the new moon in the middle of the month in your sign. You add to this, in the early part of the month, Mercury will go direct. So in the first few days, Mercury is standing still in the sky and then goes direct in your sign. And before the month is out, will leave shadow. Very important, will be leaving shadow. And what that means is the clarity that you have, thought you had, but then you didn't have, and that you've been seeking, but didn't always realize you were seeking. This month, things really start to feel like they are coming together for you, especially in the realm of you understanding who you are, what you're going for, what you really want to do, and how now you are going to proceed. Now, there's a level of self-honesty that comes about this month that might have been lacking, where you get a lot more clear about what you've been doing and taking ownership fully for your actions or non-actions, and get a little bit more honest with yourself as well about what is it that you really want to do now going forward from here. Mercury retrograde in your sign, as I've been talking about it in the weekly horoscopes and the monthly horoscopes as well. It is a very powerful time. Your ruling planet in your sign going backwards. It is all about you, understanding that you are the one here who is deciding on your direction, who's determining a lot of your experiences, and who is, based on your own perception, determining what it is that is being drawn back to you, what is being called forth to you in your life. And wherever it is that your external reality is not satisfactory, your answers ultimately are going to be found within yourself. Now, I know that that said a lot, that can seem very trite, and it can seem very simplistic. But what I mean by that is, let me clarify. What I mean by that is, it is your orientation to the world, to others, to any given situation that determines how you experience that given situation. And that really is the key here this month. And how it is that you are orienting yourself to any given situation often is based on who you know yourself to be and what's happening on some of the most basic levels of identity. Who you know yourself to be, and are you living that? Where it is that there is lack of awareness or disconnect between these factors, you are going to start to get that clarity. You've already had the experiences, but now it's about allowing it to hit home and allowing it to reach your heart as well. In the middle of the month, there's a new moon in your sign. Now, every one of us usually gets one per year. This is yours. It's your personal new year. It is your chance to begin again and to start fresh. Early in the month, it looks like you're paying attention to another person. I'll talk about this more in the love-focused horoscope, but this often has to do with seeing yourself as reflected in the eyes of another. So it can also be a work-related partnership as well that is asking for your attention, but that looks really good. It looks like a time when there may be some heightened expectations that aren't so realistic for you to have, and yet for all that, it is followed by some really lovely surprises, some breakthroughs, and some very lucky breaks, lucky opportunities that are likely to be facilitated by another person. And it looks like, ultimately, as I said, there's a happiness, even though there's a little bit of confusion leading up to the full moon. Once the full moon occurs in the first days of the month, it is followed by a period of elation and freedom and a real sense of exaltation as well, which is set to find you early in the month. But everything really comes to the heart in the middle of the month when you have your personal new year, when you have that new moon in your sign, and you get to begin again. Decide who you are and start on a fresh road from that place, and from that honest place, and from that authentic place at that. So you've been engaged in this process of a lot of reflection, a lot of learning. Pay attention to what is happening for you in the first days of the month, because they will hearken back to what was happening in the first days of May. They will be a reflection of what was happening in the first days of May. So you do want to pay attention to that. Once we get you towards the later part of the month, in the second part of the month, you want to pay attention as well, right around the 24th in particular. Consider what was taking place in the middle of May, because events at that time will bring resolution to themes that came up right around the middle of May when we had our last new moon. And that new moon took place last month in the month of May, as I spoke about in the monthly horoscope for that month, on a level of energy, on a level of clarity, on a level of setting the stage for you to have the bold beginning that you are set to have now. Be honest with yourself. That's really all that's required this month. Be honest about who you are, be honest about what you want, and you will find yourself putting some very powerful processes in place now that are sure to lead you in a direction that will allow you to fully live that truth which you know within you to be true about you, and that allow you to fully, slowly but surely over the coming months, reap a vision of yourself that you like very much.